Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lunch with Lisa. I am Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self Healing, which I wrote after I healed my own body by activating my body's divine blueprint. During my healing journey, I realized that going the medical route was not for me. I realized there was something else that I needed to learn from the situation that I was in. Hey, good day, Deanna. Thanks for joining me. So, as I was busy waking up every morning in terror of this cancer that seemed to be invading my body and taking over everything, causing me to live in pain and discomfort all the time, constant state of fear, constant state of worry and anxiety, there was something inside me that said, there's something different. There's something else available. Something else is going on here, and it's time for you, dear Lisa, to figure it out. So every day, I decided to start meditating. Every day, I would sit quietly and I would ask for guidance. I learned how to activate my inner guidance system. I started following my intuition. And the more I meditated, the quieter my mind got, and the more information started flowing through. And pretty soon, a big heap of information downloaded. And suddenly I realized exactly what was going on with my body. I suddenly realized there was nothing wrong with my body. I suddenly realized our bodies speak in symptoms. They have their own language. And just like when we go into the pyramids in ancient Egypt and we look at all those amazing hieroglyphs on the walls, and we see these pictures of people and animals and plants and ships and water. They're all beautiful, but they tell a story. They hold the history of humanity. But when we walk into those pyramids and we don't understand that language, it's just, wow, okay, beautiful, great energy. This is lovely. And it's magical. But we don't understand, we don't grasp 99% of what's actually in there. And the same thing happens with our bodies. Our bodies speak in a language that we haven't understood. They speak in the language of symptoms. Symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, swelling, tumors. All of these things are there for a reason. And the reason isn't that our bodies are broken. The reason is that our bodies are sending us messages. Our bodies are built on a divine design. They are built by source, by God, whatever name you want to call it, universal intelligence. There is a schematic for our bodies, just like there's a blueprint for the car that you drive. It's a schematic that says this part goes to this part, and when you do this, these parts work together and it makes the car run. Well, our bodies also have a schematic, but as humans, we haven't learned that schematic. We have been living inside the dark ages. We have been living asleep inside that third dimension. We have been living in a state of amnesia and unawareness. Hey Brenda, hey Kathy, thanks for joining me today. So this schematic of our bodies, it didn't come with us at birth. We didn't get handed a manual saying, hey Lisa, here's how your body works. No, we've been kind of rolling around, bumping around in the dark, trying to figure it out. And the best we've come up with so far is, hey, there must be something wrong with my body. So we have an entire industry, the health industry, that is built on, hey, you got something going on wrong with your body. But guess what, people? That's not what's going on. It's not actually true. And we're keeping ourselves in a state of disease for no reason now. The schematic is clear. The divine design has been downloaded. There are many of us who understand the divine design. They're not, in comparison to the population of the planet, there's only a few of us that understand the divine design. But it is time for all of us to understand the divine design. It is time for all of us to be set free from the disease game that we've all been playing unbeknownst to us. The game is not fun. And some people stay trapped in that game for the rest of their lives. And we don't need that. We don't need to be living in fear of our bodies. We don't need to be living fighting our symptoms all the time. All we need to do is understand what the divine design is. We need to see the schematic. And once we understand the schematic, we can start working together with our bodies and allow the body to do what it does best. The body heals itself. It doesn't need any external assistance. It needs internal assistance from us. It needs our understanding. It needs our awareness. It needs us to clear out the triggers that are causing the symptoms to appear. Every symptom that shows up in our body is there for a reason. Something has triggered the symptom. Once we understand the symptoms, we can understand the triggers. And then it's up to us to clear out the triggers. Shame, blame, fear, guilt, anxiety are all triggers for our bodies. Every time we enter fight, flight, and freeze, our body gets triggered to do something. What it gets triggered to do is to help us. It triggers to do something to support us, to keep us alive during the fight, flight, or freeze period. Once the fight, flight, or freeze is over, once the danger has passed, then our body simply goes back to blueprint. However, if we keep carrying that danger with us, that the dangers of, oh my gosh, where am I going to get the money to pay my rent next month? I've got all these bills. Oh my gosh, my spouse, I don't know, we're not having a great relationship. I'm a little worried about this. What are we going to do about this? Oh no, my mom is starting to go into ill health. And what am I going to do? How are we going to do? We carry around triggers with us all the time. When we can start to see why our bodies are doing what they're doing, we can stop fearing the symptoms and we can start listening to the symptoms. We can start clearing our triggers and we can start to allow the body to return to its divine blueprint. It's a blueprint of self-healing, self-rejuvenation. It is designed to continually produce brand new, fresh off the shelves, never been worn before cells. We get brand new bodies every 7 years. We have a complete turnover of cells. But our bodies cannot reproduce themselves to blueprint when we are carrying around all sorts of triggers in our backpacks. So when we start to understand that there's nothing wrong with our bodies are doing exactly what the divine design says. When we start to understand the divine design, we can start living with our bodies rather than fighting against them. We can stop fearing our symptoms. We can stop spending hours upon hours at doctor's offices, going through medical treatments, going through tests. We can simply know why our body is doing what it's doing. How would that be? How would that change your life? If you didn't have to spend hours upon hours in doctor's offices, if you didn't worry about having to get tests and all of that all the time? What if you understood your body? And anytime a symptom shows up, you would know exactly what to do. What if you had no fear? And what if you knew how to deactivate all of those triggers so that your body stopped being triggered? What if you could just keep your body at blueprint? What if you could live in peace and harmony with your body at all times? What if you could get your body to return to blueprint on command? How would that change things? What if you just had health and vitality all the time? Did that ever even occur to us? It doesn't occur to us that that's the natural state of being. We're so programmed with disease, disease, disease. Every time we turn on the TV, there's a new drug for a new disease. Now we're all walking around with masks on to prevent this disease from attacking us. What if we didn't have to do that? What if that was completely unnecessary? What if you could trust your body? What if you could trust your own well-being? That would be new. How refreshing would that be? It's completely possible. It is completely natural. It is how I live. It is how my colleagues live. No fear at all of disease. No fear of catching anything. No fear of the tumor that might show up in our body. We know how to dissolve that. We know how to get the body to go back to blueprint. If you're ready to know how to get your body to go back to blueprint, reach out to me. This is what I do. This is how I help my clients to empower themselves. Health sovereignty is for all of us. Are you ready for health sovereignty? Are you ready to understand the divine blueprint? If so, please feel free, reach out. This is what I do for my clients, and this is what I can do for you too. I've already done this for myself, and I guarantee you it is a much simpler and way more joyful way to live. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. And if you're watching this and you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me at connectingyoutoyou.com. You can also find me here on Facebook. My group is called Soul Sourced Healing. You can find me on LinkedIn, and that's pretty much it. However, you can also find my book, The Simplicity of Self-Healing, on Amazon.com. So thank you for joining me for this episode of Lunch with Lisa, which I do every Thursday in the Soul Sourced Healing Facebook group at 12:30 Eastern. So thanks for joining me, everyone. And until next week, create for yourselves a great week. Bye for now.